Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Welcome to the Infowars Nightly News. I'm David Knight, and it's Monday, December 29th, 2014. Here are our top stories.
Tonight, the Supreme Court rules against Fourth Amendment protections. Then, the Pope throws his hat into the ring on climate change. And get ready for the toilet troopers. That's next on the Infowars Nightly News.
I want to throw up. What a cult of fruits.
Well, this year, the government continued on a long tradition of doing underhanded, unpopular things on the holidays when nobody's paying attention. Of course, that began back in 1913 with the Federal Reserve Act being passed on December 23rd when most people were away. We also saw the Senate passing Obamacare on Christmas Eve in 2009. And then Obama signed on New Year's Eve the first Indefinite Detention Act that was part of the NDAA. He signed that into law on a New Year's Eve when people weren't looking. This year, it's the NSA doing a data dump, showing their decades worth of surveillance reports. Now, this is something that was put out by the ACLU. They had a Freedom of Information request due to a lawsuit that they were trying to get information about what the NSA was doing. And this covered activities from mid-2001 to 2013. Very heavily redacted reports, and all we see here is really just a few incidences of saying that we looked at somebody's data by accident, or the worst thing that I saw out of this was an NSA analyst searched her spouse's personal telephone directory, and that's not really the issue. You see, it was back in 2001 when this all began, as we know from NSA whistleblowers like William Binney and Thomas Drake, others, that they were deliberately changing the structure there so that they could spy on Americans. The internally developed software called ThinThread would not allow them to do any of this, even if it were innocent mistakes. Instead, Michael Hayden, then the director of the NSA, deliberately went with an outsourced version that was called Trailblazer that allowed them to blanket search Americans, not keeping those kind of protections in. I think that dumping this out on Christmas Day not only provides a way for them to hide any information or to keep it under the cover that they are, yes, in fact, spying on Americans, but also to minimize any discussion of it. And it's a report that is very much like the Senate Intelligence Committee. It is a whitewashing of what this government is doing to us. It is far worse than any of the information that's revealed in here, even in this heavily redacted report, just as the torture that is going on by the CIA, as well as the other things, criminal activities that our government are involved in, are whitewashed over and over again by people like the Senate Intelligence Committee, even these FOIA requests. As one example of our government's overreach, the U.S. Supreme Court rules 8-1 that citizens have no protection against Fourth Amendment violations by police officers who they say are ignorant of the law, and so therefore it should be excused. Now, this is a press release from the Rutherford Institute that filed a brief to the court protesting this action in this particular case. It's a traffic case in North Carolina where they used information that they really didn't have a reason to pull this person over. They didn't have a search warrant, of course, because with a search warrant, you need to produce a reason. And I think that's the fundamental issue here. What is a reasonable search? Well, certainly a reasonable search would be something that doesn't violate the law. But of course, it was excused by the Supreme Court, saying it doesn't matter that this guy was pulled over for no reason. The police officer didn't need to know the law. Now, that's another important step that they've taken, not just violating our Fourth Amendment rights, but saying that the police don't have to be constrained at all by their ignorance. Why should we assume that the police would be trained in what the law is when they're law enforcement? The article states, by refusing to hold police accountable to knowing and abiding by the rule of law, the Supreme Court has given government officials a green light to routinely violate the law. The attorneys for the Rutherford Institute also warn against allowing government agents to benefit from their mistakes of law, deliberate or otherwise, they say it will become an incentive for abuse.
For all of recorded history, civilizations around the world praised the health benefits of silver. At Infowars Life, our mission is to bring you the highest quality, purest, cleanest, effective colloidal silver on the market today for the lowest price available. You don't have to be a doctor to know. The fall and winter months are the most dangerous time of year in North America when it comes to you and your family's health. InfoWarsLife.com is very excited to announce our biggest run yet of Silver Bullet colloidal silver, exclusively available at InfoWarsLife.com. Now, InfoWarsLife.com has taken colloidal silver to the next level using a cutting-edge technique that is free of toxic artificial additives. Now more than ever, it's important to stock up on high-quality Silver Bullet from InfoWarsLife.com and to help others during Christmas by teaching them about the powerful benefits of silver. Secure your Silver Bullet today at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.